Blog Talk Radio.
Archangels, ghosts, and Bigfoot, oh my. It's just another night for Supernatural Girls. Real stories, real answers to life's biggest supernatural mysteries. And now for another exciting interview with paranormal experts from this world and others. Here's your host, paranormal researcher Patricia Baker, on the one, the only, Supernatural Girls.
Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Supernatural Girls Radio. I'm your host, Patricia Baker, and I am here with my co-host, Michelle Claire. Hi, Michelle. How you doing tonight?
Hi, Patricia. I am doing well. How are you tonight?
I am doing well. I know we were both talking about we've had, exhausting days for some reason. There's got to be something in the air from where you are in Arizona, all the way here to New England. There's some kind of fatigue floating around, huh?
I think so. I think a lot of people are feeling it right now because there is a lot of energy shifting around us, and I think people are, we're feeling it in our human bodies.
Well, I know I am, and there's no really good reason for me to be feeling this way. So I can't say I ran a marathon, and now I'm tired. No, it's nothing like that. I made dinner and I'm tired, so.
Yeah.
So that's all. I can't really, attribute it to anything. It's a bit disappointing that I don't have a real good reason, but I don't. So it is what it is. So anyways, you have new stuff going on, new events, new gatherings. What's happening with you?
I do. If you are in the Phoenix area, I will be in Tempe this weekend at the Shrine of Holy Wisdom doing a group reading. So I'm excited about that. That's on Saturday. Yes. You know what I love? I love that we, at least in Arizona, we're gathering again in public and being able to do this because the energy when everyone comes together is so different than when everyone's sitting home. So I love that we're getting back to living here.
Yeah, it's so nice. I mean, all these lockdowns that apparently, according to studies, didn't really help anything. It's good that they're behind us and we can get together again without fear and enjoy each other's company.
Yes,
so
absolutely. So, so I will have that this weekend. And then if you are not in the Phoenix area, I have an online gallery group reading that you can join through Zoom at the end of this month, and you can find out all of my events for the next few months coming up on my website, MichelleClare.net. So, come join me. Let's have fun. Let's be excited and bring in spring and new energy and moving forward with this year.
Oh, I can't wait for spring to be here. Of course, it's going to be a little bit later than where you are, but I can't wait. I'm so looking forward to getting out in my garden and planting vegetables and all kinds of exciting things. So, yeah. And it feels, we actually had a heat wave here. It was 42. That's a heat wave for us.
Oh, wow.
I know it.
Yeah.
I was outside with my ski jacket unzipped. It was wow, this feels great. So, anyway.
Wow,
so
that's
our guest
amazing.
tonight.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Let's talk about our guest.
Okay, our guest isn't here yet. And hopefully she will join us. But we are going to be talking about miracles and angels, whether she's here or not, because that's a great topic. And everybody interested in miracles. And there's so many accounts of miracles that have been well documented, and so many accounts of people that have had experiences with angels. And I know you're an angel communicator, so we're going to get to all of this tonight. Like I said, whether Corin can make it or not, I don't know where she is, but I reminded her a bunch of times, so hopefully she will maybe get her time screwed up, but she will be here, I hope. But if not, you're going to be our angel expert tonight. So.
Okay.
Yeah, but before we all get to that, I also wanted to mention, please go to our website, supernaturalgirls.com. And on the homepage, if you scroll down, you will see under advertisers, there is a company that's actually selling Tesla coils. Now, these things are very, very interesting. And apparently how they work is that you get them and you put them underneath your bed or near your bed. And apparently they put off a particular wavelength that allows your body more energy so that it can heal itself. Fascinating.
Oh, wow.
Fascinating technology.
That is
and they also, isn't it? I mean, I love easy, and that's easy. The other thing that they have are med beds, where you can actually sleep on these beds that have many more coils, Tesla coils. And they're offering it, if you click on our link there where it says what it is, and you go to their website, they're offering an opportunity for people with Parkinson's disease to use their beds for no cost as a part of a study in how, isn't that great, and how this can benefit Parkinson's patients. Yeah, so I'm very happy that they're advertising with us on our website. It's something that's brand new, and of course we've heard so many people on the show talk about what's coming, from medicine in the future, and it's all about this. It's all about energy. It's about light. I'm sure everybody's seen all the new light machines that are being advertised on Facebook. Some are LED, some are laser. We've had Dr. Weber on the show from Germany who invented a low-level red laser and then a multicolored laser that's actually an IV. If you want to hear all about that, just go look up that show with Dr. Weber. He is a brilliant man, and he described everything about these things he's invented and how they work. And again, these are side effect free. Some of these things he's invented you can use at home, and some of these things that he has you have to go to a facility. Like, for example, the IV laser, that one you have to go to a medical facility for. But there are a few places around the country that have purchased these from Dr. Weber and are now using them in their practice. Now, I've talked to some patients. Yeah, they've been up to either the New Hampshire clinic or the California clinic, and they've had this treatment, and they say you come out like a new person. It is so powerful and so wonderful. And, again, no side effects. So go back to that show if you're interested, and you can hear Dr. Weber describe all of this new laser technology yourself. Plus, you can click on the link. That's also on our website, and it'll bring you to the California clinic that works with all of this equipment there. So it's great stuff, and it's leading edge. Of course, we have to give you the caveat, always consult with your doctor. But take a look at this for informational purposes, and you can learn a lot from there and see if any of it is right for you. But certainly the Tesla coils are very fascinating to me, Michelle. I'm thinking I have to invest in one. Yeah. You can even get one for your pet. You can get one for your dog or your cat.
Why not? Why not, right?
Why not is right. That's right. So
I mean, we have nothing to lose. We spend tons of money on supplements and all sorts of stuff that we're not even sure, if this is actually helping us. So why not try one of those? See how it works for you.
Yes, because I take a lot of supplements also, and I'm really tired of it. Don't you get tired of taking so many pills? I do. It's just give me a liquid, just once. Just give me a liquid to swallow instead of all those
once a day.
Pills. Yeah, make it easy on me. But these Tesla coils are quite fascinating. Actually, one of our dear friends here, Bob Luca, is the one who told me about them. So thank you, Bob. And I know Bob and I are both hoping to try it soon, and Michelle, I hope you will too. So for everybody who's interested, that's where you can find it. So tonight, I see our guest has arrived, and I am going to bring her onto the show in just a minute because I want to introduce you to her first. Now, Corinne has been with us before. She is a great guest, and we're so happy to have her with us tonight. She has an international #1 best-selling book, It is called the Angel Experiment. And she's also a licensed psychotherapist, a speaker, transformational leader, and a trained psychedelic therapist. I got to find out more about that. What do you think? That sounds interesting.
That does sound interesting.
Yeah, so we got a quiz her on that one. And so anyway, she does so much, and she does a lot. She helps a lot of people through all of this transpersonal work, and she's also led groups to Machu Picchu, Ireland, Redwood Forest, the heart of Mount Shasta. Yeah, all these magical places. But many years ago, how did this get started? Well, Corin witnessed a miracle that was so mind-bending and extraordinary that it changed her life forever. So this intense spiritual awakening led to the discovery of her profound intuitive and healing abilities that, until that time, she had no idea that she had these. So since that day, she committed to teaching others about the profound magic that lives inside of us and how to expand our hearts, lives, and businesses fueled by the power of spirit. And isn't this exciting? I'm so glad she's with us tonight. So, okay, I'm getting this mic ready. Corin, welcome to the show.
Oh, my goodness. So great to be here again, guys.
Yay.
Oh,
well,
thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I don't think you've met Michelle before, but I'll tell you, Michelle she understands this whole journey personally because she is also a psychic medium, has had 3 near-death experiences herself. But we want to hear all about what you're up to. My goodness, it sounds like you've got all kinds of things going on. So let's start with how this all began for you, because you had quite an experience that got this whole thing going.
Yes, during a really, I was going to say during a really hard period in my life, but really it was the first, 3 decades that was the hard period. And
wow.
3.5 decades. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty intense. But essentially I had a very profound angel experience. I witnessed a miracle, and it really kind of changed things. It was like, one day I lived in one world, and then the next day a new world was born, and I was, kind of set on this journey of self-discovery about what happened, and step by step, it led me into the life that I have today, and it was very, I don't know what to say. I mean, it was just, it was like a serious line was drawn in the sand. And before I met the angels, I didn't really fully believe in them. I mean, I knew about them, but I had never had an angel experience. So it was really, the miracle happened, and then, they led me on this journey, or Spirit led me on this journey to slowly heal my life, and then eventually to begin helping others.
So when you talk about the first 3 decades that were hard, what was going on? What were the challenges you faced?
So I came from a very, my father did 2 tours in Vietnam, and, back in the day, they didn't really have support for veterans. And so he came back with a pretty serious case of PTSD. I mean, this is language that I'm using today, but we didn't really have that language back then. And he was an alcoholic and saw a lot of wartime and was very violent and all of those things. So that was kind of the upbringing. And then my mom, and he was, violent with us. My mom also passed away when I was a teenager. So by the time I was 18, I remember thinking that I was ready to die by the time I was 18. It was just like, this life feels full. I feel done. Thanks, everyone. Goodbye. And so that kind of feeling, that thought lingered with me, and I still did things. I did the formula for life, if you know what I mean. Like, our culture tells us if we, go to school, get a good job, get married, have kids, do all those things, that everything's going to be fine, and that's the recipe for success and happiness. And that didn't work for me. So because the shadows of my past were so deep, I just white-knuckled through life most of the time. And I think like so many people, when they're struggling, we don't really wear it on the outside. When we leave the house, we put on this really good face. And so I managed to go to college. I mean, I did a shitload of drugs. Oh, I'm sorry if I forgot to ask.
No, okay.
But
That's all right. We can say what we want on this show.
Oh, you can't? Okay, because I'm potty mouth girl. But, I'm going to try and simmer down, keep it at a minimum. But I did so many drugs in my 20s, and it was really, I feel like a drive for death. But I was not able to just kind of do that myself. So I was finding other ways to do high-risk behavior and try and escape the planet. So that was it. I struggled with massive depression. The only prayers that I would do back then were my prayers to please let today be my last day.
Oh. Wow.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what like the first, few decades were about really for me, is pretending like I belonged here, pretending like I could do it, pretending like I could connect with life in the way that it seemed like other people could connect with life. And I just always felt like a stranger in a strange land,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, totally understandable. Yes. Wow. What was the miracle that you witnessed? Can you share that with us?
Sure. Yeah. I received for my birthday an angel reading, and I didn't know really what that was, but I was, at the time, just to give you guys an idea of how I was surviving back then, I was drinking maybe a bottle of tequila every 2 days.
Wow.
A big bottle, okay, every 2 days.
Right.
I was taking a bunch of Adderall. I was on antidepressants. And I was also, and still am, a licensed psychotherapist. And so I was working, in the more impoverished neighborhoods in LA to help support gang members and kids get off the street and things like that. But, as you can tell, I was burning the candle at both ends. And I had a 3-year-old at home, and it was just miserable. I was working too much. Me and my husband at the time, we were on the verge of divorcing. I mean, it was really a shit show. I'm just in a nutshell.
Yeah.
So this angel reading was so to me it was just like, oh, let's go see a psychic. I thought it was like a fun thing, and it was really fun, but in a really profound way. Where I could feel a change after that one session. And she said, you have a lot of angels with you. Just make sure you keep talking to them and act as if they're real. Talk to them as if they're real and see what happens. So that's what I did. So, after a few days, I could feel the change right away, as far as I felt like my heart was lifting slowly but surely, and all these beautiful synchronicities started happening. And I saw the numbers and angel wings everywhere, and it's like, whoa, this could be real, but I'm not sure. But the miracle itself, I was on my way to a client's house, and as I was driving through the hood, and a bird fell from the sky and landed right in front of my car. So I hit the brakes, and I didn't know what to do. So as I drove around the car, I saw that the bird had a mangled wing. And as I kept driving, I decided to pray for it. I mean, I felt like I wanted to rescue it somehow, but like, I'm in the hood. I'm not going to get out of the car and, so yeah, I prayed for the bird, and I kept watching it as I drove around, and as I looked in the rearview mirror, I saw the bird start kind of shimmering or shimmying on the ground. And as I watched the body of the bird, a small bird jumped up from the body of that bird, flew away. Then a second little bird jumped up from the body of that bigger bird, flew away. And then another small, tiny bird jumped up from the body of that bird and flew away. And from what I could see, there was nothing left on the ground. So I stopped the car again. I got out this time, and I looked to make sure, and the body of that bird was gone. And it wasn't just what I saw. It was how things felt. It was like this electrical current running through my body, this incredible feeling of peace and love. And that is the moment that really changed the game for me.
Wow. I mean, you were touched by God. That was such a remarkable experience. And after everything you had been through, to come to this moment and really surrender to it, my goodness, I can see why. This is why you call it an incredible miracle, as it really was on so many levels.
It was, it's like, and it wasn't just what I witnessed that day. It was the radical change that started happening inside of me, where I woke up in the morning and I stopped having that incredible weight on my chest. I used to wake up and like feel like an anvil was sitting on my chest, and that kind of disappeared, and I started to feel more hopeful. And then another voice in my head started coming in that was more positive, and I started listening to the positive voice instead of the tyrannical voice. And I mean, my life today is I feel 100%. It's still a testament to that first miracle, because the miracles still happen in pretty amazing ways. But now I get to witness miracles happen in other people's lives, which is so mind-blowing and beautiful.
Well, and you had this great book, too. Go ahead.
What was that?
I mean, I was just going to say, I feel like the miracle for you that day was you died, but you didn't have to die to come back and see life from a different way, right?
Yeah, that's what I feel. Yeah, exactly. I think even
you died
even
that
in my
day,
book, like,
even though you didn't.
Yeah, exactly. And I wrote in my book, it's like, I wanted to die, and I did, but not in the way that I thought. I did.
Yes.
It's I feel like a totally different human, and I still feel like connected to the old me. Like I know her stories and I know her memories, but the being is definitely kind of a different thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, that's amazing. I love that, because I think that's probably also symbolic. You said you saw 3 different birds fly out of the one. I mean, there's probably at least 2 more amazing versions of you ahead of you in this lifetime coming up.
Oh, is that what you said?
So I feel like that represents you.
Okay, let me tell you something I didn't even write about in the book, because it's just like, okay, it's just too much. Oh, enough is enough. It's hard enough for people to believe the dang miracle. But let me tell you what happened with during that angel session. So during that angel session, and I didn't even put these pieces together until later, right? So during the angel session, she touched my shoulder and she said, "Whoa." And I said, "What?" She's like, "You are so full of anger, like in your shoulder. Do you have shoulder problems?" And I'm like, "Yes, it's been my whole life." And she said, "Oh, well, that's where your wing was clipped."
Wow.
I know. And I didn't, like, for me, I'm just like, okay, whatever you say. I'm just like, having a good time with it. Again, I didn't know what was going to transpire just 48 hours later, but how crazy it was that the bird had a mangled wing.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. Oh, it was so representative of you. I love this. This is amazing.
Yeah, pretty trippy. Yeah, I'm still trying to catch up with all of that.
Well, what's so wonderful, Corinne, is you have written this great book, The Angel Experiment, which everybody in the audience, if you haven't read it, you need to get a copy and read it. It is a tremendous book. And also, you have been helping people, and you are helping people to make their own connection with spirit, with angels, with their own miracles. You're doing such great work. So before we go any further, how can people get a hold of you?
Oh, yeah, they can, find me on my website, CorinGrillo.com, and usually I'll put whatever it is that I'm up to. Like right now, I just bought a retreat property up in Mount Shasta, and I'm going to start, taking people on journeys out there. But, yeah, pretty much everything that I'm up to is somewhere on the website somewhere.
Okay, so that's great. And tell us a little bit more about what you do when you take people on these retreats. What happens for people?
Well, I guess it depends on the nature of the retreat. As a psychotherapist, I'm particularly interested in helping people move through and transform their darkness into power. So I have this phrase that I say: behind your pain is your power, and behind your power is your gift to the world. And so many people. Yeah, and it's for me, it's been really true. Like, that's our goal.
Yes.
And, and it's usually we find them in those dark corners that we don't want to go in. And so usually my events are very kind of pilgrimagey. It's like you're taking time at a time. And we in the West, many of us have lost our connection. Like, we don't know where to go for pilgrimage, and we don't know, like, what to do to really, anchor and connect with Source and God. And so much of our upbringing has turned us off from spirit, turned us off from religious, quote unquote, things. So part of my work here is to help repair, I guess, that damage and help people build that more authentic bond, not the one that you find in books, but the one that really comes to life inside of you, where you feel that true sense of support, not the fake shit. And you gain, deep insights about life. So I like to bring people together. So first of all, so we can heal in community, connect with our hearts, which we need that more now than ever, but also to help people shed the old life and anchor into themselves at a soul level so that they can start touching into their own medicine. And it's my belief that we all have our own special medicine that's kind of hidden underneath those layers. And so, so sometimes I do a lot of healing work and help people really develop their intuition and things, because to me that's the path towards freedom. When you can hear the voice of spirit, feel the voice of spirit, and start moving in those directions, it's game-changing. But I also take people on psychedelic journeys as well to help really move through trauma. And so, as a therapist, it's when I work with psychedelics with people, it's really to help them move through old layers of stuff and come back to the heart.
And how do you do that?
Beautiful.
What psychedelics do you use?
Well, I think it just depends on what we're doing and what the focus is. So,
let me ask you this: how does that work? Does it help them? To move through like blocks or the pain easier? Like, kind of give me a little background on how that works.
Okay.
Like, why is that better than going through therapy, or does that, does it kind of clear the path so you're like, it just is easier to see? How does that work?
Yeah. Okay. So that's a great question. And maybe depending on the day, I would change, I would answer something different. But from my experience, when you're doing and working with psychedelics, the set and setting matters a lot. So making sure, first of all, that the container is safe, and I like to make sure my folks are prepared. But so I always say that the psychedelic, think of it as a medicine, and this medicine is going to take you to wherever you need to go. And so the medicine is, to me, like a spirit that is a teacher. And so you set an intention, and you invite the spirit to show you what you need to see, or to help clear you of a specific issue if you're struggling with addiction, or if you kind of have this thing that keeps on happening to you over and over again in life, and you want clarity. It can show you that, but it can do a lot of different things. So, there's clinical trials right now. There's amazing success with palliative care, people really moving through the end of life transition and wanting to come back to their heart about it, be more open and less anxious. There are clinical trials that it really supports people letting go of their depression. There's incredible trials of people who had extreme PTSD from wartime. And some of these medicines have like an 83% success rate. So I work with them coming from two lenses. One is that I work a lot shamanically. I was introduced to the medicine shamanically about 12 years ago, so I've been personally using them for my own medicine for 12 years. And then I'm also looking at it clinically as a psychotherapist and all of these emerging medicines that really help us quickly release ourselves. So, for instance, there's MDMA clinical trials with PTSD veterans that have extreme cases of PTSD, and they've been in therapy forever, right? So with the MDMA trials, after 6 sessions, only one of those sessions being the actual medicine. You do a few sessions beforehand of preparation, a few sessions afterwards of integration, and 1 day of the medicine. That has an 83% success rate. So talk about
amazing.
Truncating the amount of time that it takes to do some healing, to actually have breakthroughs, you know.
That's great. That's a very high percentage.
That is very high. But let's be really clear. This is not getting mushrooms at home and going on your trip. You are really talking about like in a beautifully constructed spiritual environment with the right person to guide you. Like there's a really different energy, or at least it feels like it, about what you do than somebody who's like, hey, I got some mushrooms, come over tonight, right?
Right. I mean, totally. And the thing is, I'm not going to judge how people want to use the mushrooms. I just find they're extremely beneficial with the right setting, and people can do a lot of healing. A lot of these psychedelic medicines will regrow areas of your brain. And so that's why there's so much movement to try and get these fully legalized. In different states, different states are kind of coming up and legalizing some of these medicines because of the outcomes, the evidence-based outcomes of these things. But yes, the environment matters so much. So I want to say there's a lot of pop-up circles happening around. I think a lot of people are like, let's do ayahuasca, right? And go, and I'm just, it's really important that you vet whoever is serving anyone medicine, because there are, I hate to say it, but there are predators everywhere. And they can it just always make sure that that you've interviewed someone, you've talked to them, you've asked questions, and if they're not licensed professional, that they've been doing this work for a long time, and those are kind of the best. Some people are like going to the jungle down in, Peru or whatever, and getting into some bad situations. So.
Yeah, so be careful, everybody. Point. Yeah, make sure that you know who you're doing this with. Yeah, so you're a very good guardian for all of this, and you know what you're doing. You're also trained, licensed psychotherapist, and that's all so important. So, you said you do work with ayahuasca also, or do you mainly work with the mushrooms?
The medicines that I love are MDMA, that I love working with others. MDMA, some mushrooms, wachuma, and I do support ayahuasca circles. So a lot of times, like, I'll have other practitioners or other friends of mine, because we all have our own, like, favorite medicines. So we kind of work with all of them. But it depends on the goal. And if I take people on private journeys, it's very different than if I do like a group setting. So it's very kind of flexible, I guess, but it really depends on the goals. So if I'm taking people on a couple's journey and maybe they're having specific issues with communication, or they are, struggling to reconnect, they're kind of two ships passing in the night, certain medicines will really help their hearts come together. So it really does depend on someone's goals. And, what kind of work they want to get done.
Interesting. Gosh. Yeah, and I've talked to some friends of mine who have done ayahuasca with a good shaman, a good person they trusted. And they also said that it wasn't really necessary to go through all this purging, that you read about, that people go down to Peru and they're they're purging from both ends because they drank the ayahuasca and then they go into vision.
Right.
To me, that does not sound like fun. I'm not doing it. So, but then my friend said, "Oh, but we did a group where we didn't have to go through that, and we still had a remarkable experience." So, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I agree. Some of the brews, they add purgatives to it, and it just depends on the shaman, depends on the brew. But yeah, there's different concoctions. I mean, the main things are the same. Like there's ayahuasca vine and chacruna, but you can add some extra little cocktails to it to help open and clean the person out. But yeah, it's not fun to do the purging, but anybody who's doing ayahuasca for fun needs to not do ayahuasca because it's a teacher, and sometimes she teaches in a variety of ways.
Right. So
well, it's good to know what you're getting into.
Purging, does the physical purging actually make a difference into, like, say, how good your journey is or how far you go? I mean, is it necessary to have a physical purge, whether it's just shaking or whatever it is with something? Is that necessary?
Yeah. I think for some people it is, and for some people, every experience is so unique and so different. If I have a purge coming on, like I don't always purge when I'm sitting in circle with ayahuasca, but when I do, I feel like it was really important. And I'm really
okay.
Because a lot of times, at least the belief system, if I'm going to kind of dip into the shamanic side of my framework, one way to frame it is that it's a kind of a deep, almost like purging a demon, that in ways you can't access them. So sometimes I think I've had enough experiences where I'm kind of leaning towards believing that. Like, thank you. So most people who, here's the thing, with any great initiation, there's always the fears that happen beforehand. So a lot of people will not go down any of these roads because like, oh, I might puke or I might, shit myself or something. And that is enough, that is enough to keep people off of the healing train, right? So I just say, for me, it's, like I said, every big initiation has the fear that you project onto it, and it's about whether or not you're going to go, well, okay, well, maybe that's going to happen. I'll just bring an extra pair of pants and then, deal with it. But I think people have a tendency to talk it up more than the actual experience. When things are happening, it makes sense at the time. But in our normal consciousness, no one wants to, shit and puke.
Right. Well, this is great. I mean, I don't think we've ever had anybody on the show talking about leading people through this responsibly. So it's really nice to have you talk about it this way. And again, if you have anybody in the audience has questions or wants to participate in something, then contact Corin on her, via her website, and maybe you can join in one of these groups or private session. So let's talk a little bit more about angels, because that's how this all got started for you. And what do you tell people who want to connect with their angels? How do they do it?
Oh my gosh, it's so easy. Like I'm just getting so excited just thinking about this here. We are designed for this. I mean, who would have known? But we are designed for this, and because we have, in a way, focused so hard on what we can see, that we forget that we have access to something so beautiful. So to me, the angels are here not just to bring messages to us, but to really help align our hearts with who we are. So they can help align your heart and your life with who you are on the inside. And all that's required is a really, what's the word I want to use? An authentic curiosity. You can even be somewhat skeptical. Like I wasn't sure if angels were real, but I just did what she said. She said, talk to them as if they're real. And I was like, all right, I'm going to give it a shot. And then a few days later, it's like this bird divides into three. So we can talk to them. They are here for us. our biggest obstacle is knowing how to receive their messages back, I think, because we're expecting, like, okay, my Archangel Michael's just going to show up and show that he's here. So we have to kind of open up our more subtle senses in order to really have those experiences. A bird's not going to divide into three for everybody, right? But these subtle miracles, these subtle things are really, to me, where the gold is at.
So do you suggest to people that they call upon specific angels? I mean, there's so many. What do you tell people about that?
I mean, in the beginning, for me, I was just saying, hey, angels, because I didn't know who the angels were so much until, like, I started kind of just learning how to discern. So in the beginning, I don't like to make things complicated for people. It's like, the angels are here. Talk to them as if they're in their room right there with you, and start asking for help, introduce yourself, invite them in, and ask for anything that you want. I like to ask for emotional relief. That's kind of where it started for me. But if you're struggling, you ask them to lift, and always I feel like the easiest beginner angel to work with is Archangel Michael, because he can help detox you from fear-based energy and help loosen up the residue of life so that you can actually receive the messages of love that is really here for all of us.
That's beautiful. So I like that. So you can start with Archangel Michael and ask for that kind of help. Now, there's some people that say that angels are here to help us with even the smallest things, the material things. And what do you think about that? Is that true? They're here to help us with any desire?
I agree with that. Yeah, I just finished my next book, which is going to be about angel wealth magic. And I mean, yes, I know. Yeah, they help us with all the things. So I feel like part of my work is demystifying, it's like we have this concept of angels from the Bible, and like, it's too, it's too lowly to ask for more money. But that has not been my experience in working with angels. Angels have been, my sense of spirit is that they're literally here to support us and our joy, and that the messages that I get is that people like you and I and people with big hearts who are here to do special or really love-fueled work really need to be funded so that we can do our work a little bigger, impact more lives, and also fund other people's missions that are doing good work too. So from my perspective, yes, we can ask for anything that we need. It doesn't mean that we're going to get it, because sometimes we're asking for the wrong things.
Right. But, yeah, I agree with you, too. And, Michelle, you probably agree as well that is something we should feel free to do, is to ask for that kind of support, funding or financial safety, however people want to word it.
Safety.
And
Yeah. There's nothing too big or too small when it comes to the angels. It's not too big or too small. They're always there to help you and support you on your journey. And money is just an energy exchange. That's all it is. So whenever people think like, I can't ask for more, you can ask for a higher energy exchange. It's your God-given right. That's part of being here on Earth. And so there's also not a shortage of money, right? So people will tend to think like, there's not enough money. That's not true. There's enough money in this world for everyone to have plenty of money. So getting out of that idea of lack or worthiness and moving into the part about you're a divine soul, you're a spark of God, you're here in the body, you deserve it, your angels came to support you.
Are there specific angels that help with that, with material support?
That's a good question. I think some people would answer that like, maybe they would say Archangel Ariel, because she's really great at helping manifest and helping us manifest. But what I've found over the years in working with people on manifesting like the life that they actually desire is that the reason why people don't have wealth is there's a variety of reasons. So it's not just about, I don't know how to manifest. Maybe you have an internal block. It's a psychological block because you grew up a certain way and you just can't see yourself moving past this ceiling. You can't see yourself taking a quantum leap ahead of anybody in your family. So that would require, in a way, a different angel to come and support your inner healing so that you can unlock that door. So it could be like, Archangel Uriel to help you bring clarity or to help you shift your mind around this certain issue. So, but in general, you can, I feel like the wealth thing, and specifically, it's not just, hey, I'm going to call the angels and then I'm going to be wealthy. It's a lot of steps that we have to do down on the ground, a lot of personal awareness, a lot of mindset traps, and just the energy that we're serving up in life that we have to be aware of. And then if you find these limitations, then you can call on specific angels to help you if they happen to serve that specific thing.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, your next book sounds very exciting. So what kinds of exercises do you recommend to people?
Well, in the very beginning, I just recommend having people understand their relationship with money. And one of the techniques that I ask people to do in the beginning is just to say money aloud. Think about money, say it aloud, and see how your body reacts to it. And so some people start breaking out in sweats, Some people their heart starts beating. And that right there is going to tell you exactly where you need to go. So heal your relationship with money first if you're looking for building sustainable wealth. Now, there is angel magic that can help you attract quick cash now, but my goal is always to help people go past that and to help people really build a foundation where they have safety, security, and possibly even generational wealth after their work. And so I feel really, grateful that I've been, that the angels kind of have showed me a thing or two. And every time they teach me something, I'm like, all right, the people need to know about this. So, yeah.
And we want you to share. We do.
Really, some of this stuff is so mind-blowing. I'm constantly, overwhelmed with how cool it can be. Now, no matter what, angels are definitely, I feel like, can fast-track us into certain areas of our life. They can help us feel more confident in our hearts and more confident in who we are, to share our voice a little bit louder. Because believe it or not, I am by nature very introverted. I do not like I don't like a bunch of attention, and here I am, talking to thousands of people, right? So angels have helped me. Angels have helped me a lot, kind of fast track, move past my false barriers, and really step into a different version of me. And that's what I love to help other people with. But it's essentially whatever you want and you desire, you just ask Spirit for help. And the trick for most people is that they're too afraid to move in those directions. Do you guys find the same thing? Like, you get intuitive hits, but you're like, oh my gosh, I think that's way too big for me, or I don't even know how to do that, or I hate public speaking, or all of those things.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's all about trying to clear up these impressions and this patterning from the past. I mean, that's especially everything that happened before you're 7 years old. It's so powerful. Before you're verbal, that's the stuff that's the hardest to get out of your way. So I think that's important to ask the angels for help, especially for pre-verbal blocks. And so this is important work I think people can do to feel supported. What about you, Michelle? What do you find with your folks that you work with?
Yeah, I find that all the time. Our humanness always is worried about it's the fear side. It's, well, what could go wrong? What will people think? What if, we tend to naturally go to the worst case scenarios in our mind instead of saying, hey, what if this went really well and it all worked out? And so it is changing that original thought pattern to catch yourself and start thinking in a more positive direction. But part of being human, right? We want to feel safe. We want to feel secure. We want to feel right. We want to feel loved. And so sometimes these great ideas from spirit world that actually will move us forward into those ideas at a higher level, the minute we get them, we don't feel safe and secure and right about this. And so it's that insecurity. It's always about trusting that higher level of knowledge over our humanness is what I find.
So
I always tell my clients, Spirit did not take you this far just to take you this far. Like none of us have survived and gone through the things we have gone through just for it to all be over now or for them to give us guidance in a wrong direction. So it's really about that blind faith and that knowledge that there's more. And that more is actually here to help us and guide us right now, today.
Absolutely. I love that. And it's just so true. And trust is just the biggest thing. And for me in the beginning, because I saw that miracle, thank God I saw that, because then I was like, look, if they can do that and divide a bird into three, then what can't they do, right? And so I started my trust journey with trusting spirit first. I didn't trust myself yet, but in trusting, like, that miracles are real and that anything is possible, that was kind of like my guiding light. And eventually I learned how to trust my own decision making. After taking so many crazy, wild leaps of faith, now it's like, okay, I know we can do this, guys. But it's such a good point. Trust in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Now, let me ask you a question about a specific angel. Metatron. How do you work with Metatron? I mean, what would somebody be asking for with Metatron?
Well, I mean, so are you like a Metatron, like devotee? Do you love you some Metatron?
No. The reason I bring it up, not that I better not say I don't love Metatron, but it could be a big lightning bolt that hits me. The reason I bring it up is because my first co-host on this show was Helene Olson, who passed away, unfortunately. However, she was a big Metatron fan, and she connected with Metatron so easily. I never really understood what Metatron was about. So that's why I'm asking you this question. I'd love to know more about what is Metatron about. How do people work with Metatron? To me, Metatron sounds like a little bit of a different angel.
Yeah. One of the things that they say about Metatron is that Metatron was one of the few archangels that were human first. So I feel like when people talk about Metatron, it's like, well, he knows what it's like here. But generally how I understand Metatron is that he helps, what's the word? I work with him by having him guard me from above. And I feel like he's a conduit between us and the divine energy. I also feel and have heard that if you've heard of Metatron's cube, I feel like Metatron, there's so many still secrets and mysteries about Metatron, but here's what I'll say is that for every archangel, when people start getting into the angel work, there's going to be different archangels that really align with us. And so her fascination with Metatron is her unique fascination with Metatron, whereas like mine would be right now it's Raziel. And so everybody's unique and they have kind of like their own kind of spirit animal in the form of of archangels, depending on your work and who you do and what you do. Metatron also, they say, works with unique children, like ADHD kids or autistic kids. and he can help in a way support the parents of special kids and open up those portals. But I think of him as like really being, managing the energy between us and the divine, and opening up a portal for more divine flow to come in, and also a protector as well, so he can protect us and shield us from some of that darker energy. And I think of his Metatron cube almost like a vehicle, so he can help elevate your frequency.
Was there something about him?
The Metatron cube, is that the Merkaba? The Metatron cube, is it a Merkaba?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought it was. But you kept saying the cube, and I'm like, I can't see it. I just keep seeing the Merkaba. So, okay.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it took me a while to catch on, too. It's like, okay, different words, same thing. Good.
Mm-hmm. Now, what was it about him being a scribe or being associated with that? Was there something about that, too?
Was he the scribe? I'm not. He could be. I mean, it's definitely ringing a bell.
I don't know. I've heard something like that. Again, there's so much, like you said, there's so much mystery still around Metatron. I guess that's why I'm asking, because there is so much unknown about this particular archangel.
Yeah, but I'm not sure about the scribe thing. I can't confirm or deny that one.
Okay. We'll have to wait for further direction on that. Yes.
Exactly.
Well, there's so much to all of this. Now, when people get started, do you encourage them to just connect with whatever angel feels the best? I know you said Archangel Michael's a good one to start with. But like I said, there are so many. So for people starting out, I mean, how did they choose if they want Uriel or Raphael or Castiel or whomever?
It's tricky, and I think that question is kind of, in a way, the foundation of the work that I do, because people don't know where to start. So even my book, The Angel Experiment, walks them through 21 days and 21 practices with different archangels. And so a lot of times by doing a daily ritual, you will find which energies, which angels, which frequencies really light you up. People have profound experiences with these daily rituals and often will discover who their allies are, like, oh gosh, and so I've heard so many different stories. But yeah, I mean, the easiest way, you can do a search on a Google search or whatever, read through the descriptions and notice in your body when you start reading about one, if anything inside of you lights up a little bit. And that would be a great way to discover more. So that could be an intuitive sign that, there's something in resonance with me with this particular angel. I recommend learning how to channel right in the beginning, just learning how to receive messages, super simple in the beginning. But yeah, we all have these spidey senses. It's just a matter of you putting them to work. They just atrophied a little bit. And so they loosen up the more that you allow yourself to trust the information that's coming through.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that all makes sense. It's a wonderful journey, I think, inviting the angels to come along and be more present, or at least we can be more perceptive and know that they're here. It is very comforting. Now, in working with people, you must hear stories of miracles and specific things that have happened in people's lives as a result of your work with them. Can you share some of those?
Sure. I mean, they start with, I think I've heard very big miracles, but I think some of my favorite ones are when someone who did not believe in anything all of a sudden has a real experience. They feel an angel touch them, or they feel the all over body vibrations, or something really, manifested for them, or the little heart changes, like the little shifts inside that help someone lift their depression. We've seen suicidal people one day within, 15 minutes stop being suicidal. People have quit smoking, like spontaneously, not white knuckling. What else? Lots of financial miracles, of course. Physical healing miracles. One woman had her sister was in the hospital with COVID and with cancer, and the doctor told her, this happened, when was it, last December? Not the one that just happened, but 2 years ago. She was taking one of my magic courses, and the doctor said, start making plans, because your sister's not doing well and she doesn't have much time left. And she went into prayer. She talked to Archangel Raphael. She witnessed all of the stuff leaving her sister's lungs. And the next morning, she got a text from her sister saying, hey, how you doing? And she was like, what the hell? So she calls the hospital, talked to her sister. The doctor said, we don't know what happened, but your sister looks like she's recovering. And by the end of the week, she was discharged.
Gosh, that is a miracle.
Yeah. No, there's lots of, I've had students of mine who have naturally healed cancer from their body. There's a long list. I mean, seriously, I've been doing this for a long time, so there's a long list. But it's so wonderful because it keeps reminding me, because sometimes, like, we all want to sink into especially after the last 2 years, it's really easy to let the darkness kind of get stuck to our ribs a little bit. So it's wonderful for me to be able to have connection with these people and people emailing me and saying, oh, this happened, and I won $1,000 at the lottery. And she's like, thank you. I need good. We all need good news.
Yes. Now, what about manifestations? Have some of your students or associates been able to see angels? Have they appeared?
I'm trying to think, like, if... Now, when you say appeared, you mean like full apparition, hand someone a sandwich kind of thing? Or you mean like...
Yes. Have they been able to actually see? Because I know there's been some CCTV videos that have turned up that look pretty authentic to me. I know there was one with an angel over a truck. Did you see that one? And it looked like it was Michael with the sword in his hand.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. We don't have any pictures, but
that was
I
big
definitely
news.
Oh my gosh, I need to see that.
You would really like to see it. Yes.
Yeah, I want to see all of it. But yeah, people have had angels come and talk to them. A lot of times they don't know they're angels until after they leave. I had one man. I was working. Oh my gosh, he was this is back when I was doing more couples work, and I was channeling for him, talking about some angel messages. That guy goes to the gym. This man he doesn't know walks up to him and starts telling him about he and his wife. And this guy was really hardcore. I mean, he was like angry, just kind of like a mean husband, always cranky at her. And this man walked out to him, started telling him everything about his life, told him to read a specific book. I forget which, I think it was Love Languages. And he'd never met him or anything. I mean, he knew about his wife, what kind of car she's driving, who he was. He knew that he prayed last night, to God to help with the marriage. I mean, like, the guy knew everything. It wasn't, unless he was mic'd or something or bugged, right? There's no way this guy would know everything. Yeah. And some experiences like that have definitely happened where people show up spontaneously and give someone what they need. And so that guy was definitely a big believer after that.
I bet. I bet. Or else he got very paranoid and thought somebody was spying on him. But and so angels can take human form sometime. Yeah,
it really does happen for people. I've definitely heard of that. I've never had that kind of experience, but I definitely know people or have heard of people who have. Yeah, angels. So, like, we can't really it's not up to us how they want to support our lives. But the key for all of us is just to say yes and to be more open to that, just to be more curious, I guess.
Mhm. Now, there's a lot said about a war going on in heaven. I've heard that on and off for years. What do the angels say about that?
Interesting. Yeah. There's a lot of talk, and there's a few different schools of thought. I tend to be in the camp of I stay in love, and my mission is to hold a vision of beauty for we humans and for the planet. So because of that, I try not to get too caught up in what's happening in other dimensions. I'm really focused on my work here down on the ground. And I also feel like, okay, there's a war going on. That's not my war. I'm just going to hold a frequency of love. I'm going to bring as big party as I can for me and the people that I serve. And that's the best I can do.
That's a good way to
beautiful.
handle that. Yes.
What was that?
Now, you've been to Machu Picchu with your groups?
Yes. Yes.
So
I like to go
Machu
down there
Picchu
every year.
and Mount Shasta, the reason I'm bringing it up, I'll just say this quickly, and then I want to hear all about it. Those are heavy-duty UFO places, too. So
I know.
Tell us about your experiences there.
Well, yeah, I think, when I go down to Peru, it's very, just lovingly respectful of the powerful indigenous communities out there. And so that's the majority of my work there, is that I bring people into ceremony, and we'll do little pilgrimages up different mountains. So it didn't really have a big alien flavor to it. It's really about Pachamama, the healing and profound healing that goes on in the land. But yeah, ETs abound from what I hear, but that has not been my focus when I was down there. Mount Shasta, on the other hand, it's not subtle up there. It's just not. I was talking to my contractor because so I just meet him, right? And so he and I are talking, and we start talking about UFOs, and he's like, oh, I snapped pictures, and he sends me his own personal pictures of UFOs, and I was like, oh, my gosh, I love this place so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very much alive, especially in Mount Shasta, which I love.
Yeah, because there's a lot of talk about a civilization that lives there in the mountain. And people say they've encountered these folks that are tall, and they are aliens, or they are whatever they are. They live inside the mountain, and they sometimes they invite people to come with them, and they are never seen again. So I'm just wondering if you've heard these stories, if you know, because now you're going to be actually living there and taking people on. That is so cool.
Yeah.
So cool, Corin.
I know. I'm so excited. No, this house that I got is like, oh, whoa. The energy there is, I just can't even tell you guys. I mean, I had said, yes, I put an offer down on the house before I even knew. And, but it's like, the property itself has a vortex on it. And so it is already so alive there. But yeah, I'm just going to say I have not specifically met any denizens that live in the mountain, but I am saying there is some awesomeness going on there, some deep healing, and so much layers of multidimensionality there. So I just feel like it's a convergence of a lot of different, in a way, timelines, I almost want to say. And I'm hoping to meet some people, but I was joking with my assistant today. I'm like, do we have insurance? Does State Farm offer insurance for abductions? Because I need to.
Well, yeah, you should check into that.
I need a special kind of insurance because this land is a portal.
Yeah. Now, when you say you've identified a vortex on your property, how did you find it?
Oh, goodness. Yeah, I was walking through the property. It's 10 acres. I was walking through the property with my realtor of all things. And we walk up this knoll. So it's on a volcanic tube as it is. There's like volcanic rocks kind of thrown around. But I was kind of guided. I was eyeballing this part of the land. So I was guided over there. We had to do a little hike into it. But as soon as I walked in, it was like walking into, I don't know, a different realm. My body started getting over, what do you call it? Body chills, angel bumps, goosebumps.
Mm-hmm.
And because she's a realtor, she's not like a psychic or anything. I didn't know what to, I was going to be like, hey, do you feel that? But I did anyways. I was like, okay, I think this is a really special part of the land here. It's kind of like the heart of the land. Do you feel anything? And she looks at her legs, and she could feel tingles on her feet. And she said, oh, my God, my whole body is vibrating up to my ribs. And so,
wow.
Yeah, that's how we discovered. I just figure if the realtor could feel it, then it's not my imagination.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, if a muggle feels it, right?
I know, you always try to keep a muggle around.
That's right. That's why you need him around.
Oh, yeah,
exactly.
Do some reality testing for you. Do some reality testing so we don't get too far off the track here. So you have a contractor involved, and it sounds like you're going to be moving in fairly soon? Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to, it's 4 hours away from where I live, so it's specifically a house where I'm going to take people to. And so, yeah, I have to knock down a wall, and we're in the process of figuring out furnishings and stuff like that. So my first retreat is going to be in May. That's kind of like it's kind of like a private invitation with just graduates of my 6-month training. But after that, we're opening it up for private ceremonies, deeper work, and also small group ceremonies as well.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful.
But prayer, pilgrimage, all of that good stuff.
Well, you're a living testament.
It's going to be a huge success.
Yes.
What was that?
It's going to be a huge success. It's going to go better than you're imagining.
Oh, my God. Thank you for saying that. Because, guys, how we're talking about leaps of faith and trusting. Look, this thing is expensive, okay? And just furnishing it with beds is just, like, killing me, right? I'm like, oh, my God, I hope this works out. So thank you for saying that, because it's just I'm still kind of, in faith and in trust that it's going to work out long term, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it will easily work out long term and then some. So it feels like the right decision. It really does.
Oh my gosh! Thank you so much for saying that, Michelle.
You are so welcome. I mean, I'm just telling you what Spirit's telling me. Trusting, right? Trusting that guidance. That's what we're talking about, right? That faith where it's kind of like, oh, this is a little bit scary. But, Spirit didn't bring you this far just to bring you this far. And so you're getting opened up to a whole nother level of being able to help and work and guide people. And it's perfect. It's exactly how it's supposed to be.
Oh gosh, thank you so much. See, like I'm putting my money where my mouth is, right, guys?
That's right. That's right.
Oh goodness. Well, and you may encounter some of these individuals that live in the mountain, and I think there's a lot to be said about where we are in time right now, where these individuals and us do need to come together. So maybe you're going to lead the way with that at Mount Shasta and help us to integrate with these other civilizations that have been here for a long time. We just didn't know about it.
I know. Yeah, I definitely agree. I'm vibing on them, and I'm just going to be honest with you. I've spent a few nights there. One night when I spent alone, there was some activity, okay? I'm not going to get into details, but I'm just like, okay, whatever people say is happening in Shasta is definitely happening, and I'm so on board. I'm so excited. I'm like,
good.
Score. Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I would also say the property that you have up there, it has a vibration of interdimensional beings too. So you're not just going to be dealing with ETs in bodies. There's an interdimensional being energy there.
Okay, so tell me about what you mean by interdimensional being energy. Like, what's the difference for you?
Yeah, so for me, so when I think of like ET energy, I think of it as they're connected to a body, they're alive in our time and space, all of that. So I feel that there. But the other thing I feel is an interdimensional being. So it would be more like an energy that is coming in light and love, but it can literally walk through dimensions, walk through time, walk through space, move with nothing constraining it.
Yeah. That's who I've been talking to. Yes. That is definitely my experience so far, is that there's very much alive and there's work to be done.
You know what I would do if I were you also? Yeah, they will. And one thing, though, that would help you is get your camera and take photographs and see what comes up. You might not see it with your eye through the camera lens, but the camera will see it.
Right. Yeah. I'm like, I'm going to get video cameras. I mean, seriously, this is why I'm asking for abduction insurance. Like, hey, I don't know what
Everybody should have a personal locator button, one of those things that hikers are always told to get. So if they disappear, you can ping them, find out which dimension they went into.
I mean, seriously, guys, I'm about to microchip myself.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Just in case. Well, yeah. Right. But really, they do have personal locator buttons that you can buy on Amazon, and they are highly recommended for people that go hiking, so that if you do disappear, they can find you. Hopefully, even if you're in another dimension.
I was going to say if they go hiking or if they're on Corinne's property. Either one.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly. Everyone comes. Just come on in. Come on in, but you're going to have to wear one of these just in case. But it's been really. Luckily, it has not been freaky. It's been just a very overarchingly warm reception. Like we have been waiting for someone to help. It's really about like helping with the frequency, and helping the planet with the frequency. So that's kind of like behind the scenes, the work that we're doing there. But until then, I mean, I just show up. I'm ready to party. Essentially, I'm just going to go have fun, invite people in to come do some amazing work there, and put some trackers on them.
Yep.
Patricia, we should go. Patricia,
I know.
Really?
Are
you ready to go?
Oh, I'm ready. My bags are packed.
I know.
Well, and I think these interdimensionals, from what I'm picking up from them, is that they've been waiting for somebody to talk to.
100%. I was going to say that they've actually been waiting for Corinne to show up. For someone who
because they want to talk to you. Yeah. There's so many people that have passed through Mount Shasta, but they don't have the frequency. They don't have the vibration. And you do, because you operate from a very high place, and you also help other people get to that same place. And what I heard from these beings is they've been waiting for someone they could talk to. So that's
really?
You and your friends and the people that you're inviting in that may raise their vibration to that level so they can communicate. I guess they have a bunch of messages. Hey, that could be your next book, Corinne.
Yes.
That is so crazy you say that, because a friend of mine who's a channel, she said you're going to be making a lot of contact and they're going to want you to write a book. And I'm like,
there you go.
No more books for a while, guys, just so you know.
That's right. Yeah.
But that is so fascinating.
Pure communication.
And it's so wild that you're saying that, because it's so similar to what my friend has said. And, I'm just kind of, I just feel like, what do you call it? Like a clown. And then I just kind of I'm going to show up and we're just going to bring the vibes. We're just going to party, go into our hearts, detach from all the dang drama, and, get spit out the other side, rebirthed and awesome.
That's a great plan.
And hopefully not in another dimension. Hopefully you'll get spit out the other side in the same dimension, right?
Yeah. You got to
get
your feet planted here.
I got to put ankle weights on everyone.
That's right. Yeah. You may have to. You may. Oh, goodness. Well, this is so exciting, though, because you really, from the first miracle, from the first time you sat with the reader for your angel reading, and, I mean, your life changed radically. And it's so wonderful to know that this is possible, because there are so many people out there, especially right now, that are so depressed, that feel so trapped. They look around and they see the things going on in the world, and it just brings them down further. But here, you've done something so remarkable with your own transformation, and it's great for people to know, yes, this happens, and this can happen for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, that is the goal, right? It's for everyone, and that's what I always tell everybody, because if they hear these fantastical stories from me, then they go, oh, but I'm not special, and it's not true. Like, we are all special, and there is a beautiful world that is being birthed, and that we all have an invitation. We have all been extended the invitation to come and participate, and I feel like that's why we have to remember to not get caught up in the drama, not the celestial drama, not the human drama. Stay in our heart, focus on love, and do our best work possible.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and again, it's easier said than done, and that's why I think you as a guide, very important, and Michelle, your work as well, that you both are great guides for people, who are looking for a different approach to life. And it's a more exciting one, I think. I mean, look at all the adventures you're on, Corinne. This is one adventure after another for you.
Yeah, this is definitely a year of a whole new adventure and inviting people to deeper adventures. And I'm really excited and freaked out at the same time. So, that's just that's my life.
Is your daughter involved with this type of thing also, or is she more traditional?
Well, I have two now. So
you have two?
I have two, yeah. So I have a 17-year-old now. So the 3-year-old is 17 now, and then I have a 10-year-old. So they are really sweet, but I do my best not to try and slather my stuff all over them. They come to me when they need something, and then I teach them about magic, and I teach them, like, okay, well, here's what you do. You can go take your bath, light a candle, call on this person, this angel, or whoever, I just really feel like it's important for each of us to find our own unique path. So that way it's not about indoctrination. It's about an authentic relationship. And that's mostly what I want to foster for them. So they might just super love a totally different type of spirituality that I do. I'm just trying to kind of help them with the seed and help it grow, but not try to overly influence them with stuff. Because then it becomes a cult, and I don't like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that's good advice, I think. And what other advice do you have for parents when their children want to talk about angels?
Yeah, I just for all of us, it's not just children. For other humans, it's really like come at it with incredible respect. Everybody, no matter how big they are masters, or working masters, working to bring their own unique medicine into the world. And, their medicine might be very different from your medicine, and just giving people a wide berth to express themselves without judgment. And that's, sometimes it's hardest with our kids because we see them as extensions of ourselves almost. But just all our kids need is love and a little freedom and some really strong boundaries. But that's it. But both of my kids are really sweet. They have big hearts. They're super sensitive. They have some paranormal experiences. But in our houses, we normalize it as opposed to shame it or, demonify it or, whatever it is that people do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Good for you. That sounds excellent.
Yeah, we're all doing our best.
Yeah, we all try.
We're trying.
The challenge.
It's like, we don't. It's 50-50. As parents, it's kind of out of our hands, right? They're going to just do their own dharma. They're just going to take their own lessons and do their thing.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Well, you two are the expert moms in this group tonight, so. I know you guys are great moms.
Well, I don't know if we're experts, but we're trying.
Just fumbling around like a clown. Doing my best.
But enjoying it. That's good. That's so good.
Yeah.
Well, my goodness, Corinne, what other advice do you have for anybody? Because you've got a couple of minutes left. And for anybody who might be feeling really particularly down in the dumps about their lives, what do you want to say to them?
Well, let me just, feel in here and see what the angels have to say. They're showing me a sun rising. So they're saying the dawn is upon us, upon you. There's a dawn that is upon you. The darkest moment can now be behind you. They're saying to not look towards the past, but to look towards the beautiful future. And they're showing a ray of light touching my feet or touching our feet. And actually, I would like for everyone who's listening, especially if you're struggling, to really pay attention to your feet. The sun, and so this sun to me is living light. It's like the Christ light that they're bringing through, and that with this light, every day is a new day. And so they're saying tomorrow is a brand new day. May you be reborn. May you be reborn, and may you shed. It's like shedding the past. Just let yourself let go of the past. They show all these hands gripped to ropes, tethered to the past. They're saying, open your hands now and they're bringing your hands down to the ground. And so, the door is open. And again, it's an invitation. So it's like an invitation. We don't necessarily have to go, but they're inviting you into a different way of being.
That's a nice ending for tonight. Everybody take a deep breath. That's a good one. Take it all in. Well, Corinne, will you please come back and join us when your new book comes out? We'd love to have you talk about that with us.
I'd love to.
All of the Angel Miracles with Money.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me on again. I love talking about this stuff, guys. So thanks so much, and both of you. I love the work that you're doing, and just keep doing it.
Well, thank you. Thank you for joining us.
You.
This has been just a wonderful evening, Corinne, and everybody. We'll be back next week. Yes, we will, with another great show. And until then, we'll see you on the Blue Highway. Good night, everyone.
Thanks for listening. Tune in next week for another radio adventure with Supernatural Girl.